Hi, if you are new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch episode 63 of Anime Monster, and before we get into it, I have to note that I got a comment on my 61 episode reaction that episode 67 is incomplete in the place where I got it from. So I saw this comment, then it disappeared for some reason, but I copied the link before I managed to answer it because I had to access VPN to check this link, so I couldn't at the moment, but I copied it, so I have it. And I checked through VPN that it seems to be working. So if you are the person who left the comment, I saw it. I just didn't have the opportunity to answer it because when I got to check the link, I went to answer this comment and it was gone for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't see the spam folder also. Maybe YouTube deleted it because it contained a link. I'm not sure what happened there. I just wanted to let you know that I have it, and I'll try watching episode 67 through it because yes, the file that I have for some reason is 18 minutes in length, so it might be incomplete. But with that out of the way, let's check what episode 63 has. Let's go. Alright, so we are going to the scene. There are some consequences. Does his teeth hurt? How does he live? Egon Weisbach. Okay, Weisbach. Again, kinda we have color in the name. We had this with Verdeman. He had color green, and I think it was reflected in his character design because he had a green tie, some other things like green office also, and Weisbach. That's very interesting. So he might play a bigger role here. I'm not sure. I mean, it might be just because there are surnames like Brown, etc., that have a color in them and doesn't mean anything. But since I feel like in Monster there's a lot of symbolism, so his surname meaning white might actually mean something about his character. But again, I felt the last episode that Milan was kind of abruptly ended his arc, but now we have some kind of continuation consequences of his actions, so everyone is kind of inspecting what is going on, why this gunman was trying to, they didn't even identify who he was going for, so he was shot so quickly they didn't even realize who he wanted to attack. Okay. Maybe he is going to play some kind of role too. An unrelated murder. Okay, that's interesting.
いや、うん、禁煙だぞ。この車両は禁煙だって言ってる。ああ、その道徳心でもってまっとうに生きてりゃな。
Maybe he doesn't like smoking. I really hate the smell.
その手で何人やった？
So he
かけがえのない命を指で数えられていや、殺された人間も浮かばれんな。
how else is he supposed to count them? So he really is a culprit. He really did kill a lot of people, not like he was falsely accused.
最後の仕事なんだ。明日で定年だ。まあ、地味な刑事人生だったが、
And he will finally be able to go to the dentist.
こちらは女房と庭いじりでもしてのんびり暮らすさ。人生ってのはそんなもんだ。お前がそういうささやかな他人の人生を壊しちまったことを悔いてほしいよ。俺に唾を吐くような人間でも
So he only killed people
アードラー通りで乗せた客は降りると唾を吐きかけたんだ。
that were mean to him.
お前それだけで人に唾を吐きかけるなんて人として最低だろ。ゲレスハイム駅から乗せたカップルなんてもっと最悪だ。俺の車の後部座席で本番
Holy crap!
俺の車の後部座席でだ。だから二人とも殺した。汚い言葉を吐き続けるアル中の若造。料金を自分の体で払おうとした売春。他人の悪口をまくし立てる化粧臭いババア。いろんな奴が俺のタクシーに乗ってきた。奴らみんな
He has his own perspective on this. If he deems just from one encounter a person is a trash,
ビルカー投資銀行の銀行員殺しが
then he wants to get rid of them.
でもどこがクズ
Like,
勤勉な仕事ぶり、誠実な人間関係、家庭を愛するあの銀行員。お前が彼を殺したおかげで彼が告発しようとしていたある財閥の収賄スキャンダルが闇から闇だ。ありゃあ、後味悪かったな。
so that's the one he actually regrets?
天中みたいなことを言ってるが、所詮自分を正当化しているだけだ。あれは仕方ない。
Maybe
誰かに頼む。
was there another reason?
それは言えないな。禁煙だって言ってんだろ。
So will he see that the inspector,
二度と俺の前でタバコを加えるな。
yeah, as another target, I just wanted to say if he does that.
そうさせちまったんだろうな。俺はもともと正しい考えの持ち主さ。ただそれをちょっと
So I think he thinks a little bit too highly of himself and too plainly of others,
公園で犬を散歩
thinking he knows all of them just from one side.
そうしただけでその男は犬
What?
をつけた。
Poor dog. Oh my god.
慣れている犬は怯えきっていた。クソをしただけなのに。俺は男を止めた。気がつくと俺は警察に取り押さえられていた。
I can feel him on that actually. I love dogs a
一
lot.
人の男の子が現れた。で、その子は警官にこう言った。その人は悪くない。犬を連れていた人の方が先に手を
That's also true. He attacked the dog and him too.
俺は警察に連行されずに済んだ。俺は男の子に礼を言い、家まで車で送ろうと言った。 ところが帰る家なんかないって言うんだ。おまけに公園の茂みから妹まで連れてきた。
So it was Jochen. That was actually nice of him.
二人を俺のアパートまで連れて行ってね。おかしなことに部屋で上着を脱いだら二人ともパジャマ姿だった。まるで病院から抜け出したみたいだったよ。そういや男の子が頭に包帯巻いてた。
So that happened after they ran away from the hospital.
あとニュースを見
Interesting.
いつもの一人型のように俺は悪態をついた。
They stayed with him.
くだらないよ。
And he survived.
くだらない連中にクズは死ねってな。そしたら男の子は何と言ったと思う？あなたは正しいって。
He also influenced him. Jochen influenced him
そ
too.
んなこと言うんだよ。
そんな人たちいらないよ、いらないよ。
So after that, he decided to start actually killing them.
解放
Yeah. So he was a bit brainwashed too. Can we say that? That's interesting. So he had these strong opinions, but he didn't kill anyone. But then Johann kind of gave him the green light.
最後の仕事も無事終わりましたね。ああ、あとは
That's very interesting.
だけだ。本当に長い間
Now I'm a bit worried for the inspector
なんか気になって
because he
まあ未解決の事件もあったけど。
because he was talking about his future. And often when this happens, something goes wrong.
どうして警部
Something bothers him about one of the unsolved cases. He remembers about the
ま
twins.
で連れてきた双子のね。二人と
Oh.
もパジャマ姿でさ、まるで病院から抜け出したみたいだったよ。あの晩のこと思い出さないかな。
Wait, I saw him already. I forgot that.
君の名前はアンナ・リーベルト。
In the very beginning of the anime. Damn.
男の子は頭に包帯巻いてたっけ？
He was questioning.
あの双子の兄弟ね、どこにもいないんです。
He decides to not retire. Because
その子供
that's dedication.
そうだな。11年ぐらい前かな。どんな見た感じはどんな
Blonde, blue eyes.
そりゃ綺麗な顔のブロンドの双子さ。
That's very interesting. And he thinks, damn, that's an interesting thing.
あの時失踪した双子の兄弟。ドクター天魔事件の重要な鍵を握る双子。
Mm.
参ったな。
Yeah.
定年まであと
Oh, that's how it is. He has 30 hours until he retires. I thought he would be like, okay, I'll push the retirement a bit.
なるほど。それで13人も。君は血を吸わなければ生きていけない。しかも処女。
Is that some kind of psychological problem this man has?
3ヶ月前の件で、フランクフルトの雑貨店の娘、フリーダ・シェリー。彼女の血も吸ったのかい？いや、確かにね。君の言う通り、これまでの君の相手は少女ばかりだ。しかも、ご丁寧に彼女たちの素行調査までして襲っている。君がいかに処女の血を
You can understand? Okay.
わかる。ところが、このフリーダ・シェリー、年齢は20。
Very pretty.
見た目じゃまだまだ10代に見えるがね。しかし問題はそんなことじゃない。彼女、フランクフルトのザイラー通りのカフェで16の時から働いていた。そこは名門ギムナジウムのすぐそばでね。彼女、そこの男子生徒たちのマドンナ的存在だったようだ。だが、17の時子供を産んでるんだ。
So,
噂ではギムナジウムの生徒の誰かが相手らしいということだ。出産後、彼女の親は
yeah, it's different from his pattern.
話
絡ませた生徒の親が金持ちで、たんまり金をもらって店を出したってもっぱらの評判だ。知ってたんだろ？その他の県ではあれほど少女たちの調査をしていた君が。処女の血でなくても済むかい？あれは
He even uses the same words about someone who was not in the pattern. So they were both
本物に
asked by Johan maybe to make these particular murders.
彼にや
Yeah.
自分まだ吸血鬼を取り抜くコウモリ程度でしか彼こそ本当の
He doesn't suck the blood though, I think.
誰なんだ？どこで出会った？
フランクフルト公園グリースハイム、そこにどこにでもあるような公園が、その公園の砂場に彼は木の枝で女の名前を書いた。
To point him at her?
俺は実行に移した。
誰なんだ？それは。
だから本物の吸血鬼だよ。
Well, I think
おお、考えても
the logical thing to assume
エイリヒ・クレンペラー氏殺害。
is that it was Johan.
練習でだけ指令を受けていたはずなのに、なぜこの一件だけフランクフルトまで出向いたんだ？これも宇宙人からの方針かい？
What?
宇宙人は急に気が変わってフランクフルトまで行って人を殺せと更新したのかい？それとも何か他に？
Another one with a murder out of
ペ
pattern.
ラー氏の経歴もなかなかのくせ者だからね。
50
東西冷
years.
戦時に東ベルリンから亡命。ここ数年は食品貿易の仕事もうまくいっていたようだ。ただし彼には東から西へ養子の斡旋
Oh.
噂がある。まあ、早く言えば子供のいない西の金持ち相手に東の子供を売りつけていたんだ。
Interesting.
じゃない。直接会ったんだよ。感激だったよ。本当に宇宙人が目の前に
Well, actually, he does look like an alien a bit.
着陸した。
グリースハイムの公園だ。
Is this the same Puck?
彼の言葉は宇宙の言葉だ。だから僕に分かりやすいよ。
And also wrote in the sand. The name.
あんな感激、あなたにも味わわせてあげたいよ。
So he kind of preys on these people with psychological problems who are committing murders because of that and kind of influences them to commit a murder that suits him.
いよいよ定年まで秒読みになっちゃいましたね。
Seconds? He said 40 hours?
思ってないんだろう。その通り。だから今日はめでたい厄介払いってことで、あーっと
He's joking.
悪い酒になりそうだな。
The
ああ、ドクター・ギーレン。
oh, maybe they'll talk and share their findings.
タクシードライバー。
Oh, interesting.
誰かの依頼か？いえ、論文のためとか言ってましたよ。その道の権威とかで、お偉方に顔が利くらしくて。
It's like he's conducting an investigation also on this case. And
で、君は自分のタクシーから降りるとき唾を吐いた客を車で引き殺した。
ああ、取り調べで何度も話してるが、俺が殺した連中はいらない連中なんだよ。俺の正しさがあんた方にはわからないだけさ。
正しさか。いや、一つ聞いてもいいかな。いつも取り調べで饒舌な君だが、ことビルカー投資銀行のオーペルト氏殺害に関しては歯切れが悪いようだね。他の殺人に関しては君なりの正当性を
but not in this one. This left a bad aftertaste.
オーベルト氏の殺害だけ明確な理由を一言も述べていないんだよ。
あんたとはもう話したくない。
He didn't even want to talk about that.
ドクター・ギーレン、バイスバッハ警部です。
ディンガーの口から何か学術的に興味深い発言でもありましたか？
いや、これまでの長所の枠を出ませんね。では。
実は私もあの男からどうしても聞き出したいことがあるんですよ。
Yeah, I think he answered more to Weisbach than to Rudy actually.
私は今日定年を迎える身なんだが、これを聞いておかないとどうにもすっきりしない。学術的に見てどう思います？
Mm.
怪物のような子供がいて、それが成長して子供の頃世話になった男のもとへやってきて、
And told him
そのような子供
what to do now.
まあ子供向けな話なんだが、
詳しく聞かせてください。その話。
なんだよ、そろって。そっちの学者さんとは話す気はないと言ったはずだぜ。
私はまだ刑事だ。今日いっぱいはね。これは取り
So
調べ
he
だ。
didn't want to talk to him too.
昨日も聞いたが、例の双子の話だ。その子供にお前
Yeah, so he felt kind of thankful to him in a way, and that's why
その子が成長してお前の元に戻ってきて、何か
he wanted to do this favor.
お前はその頼み事を聞くか？
And they basically already said it all, like,
どうかな。
ビルカ投資銀行のフリッツ・オーベルト氏殺害は誰かの依頼でやったんじゃないのか？勤勉な男、誠実な男。オーベルト氏はそういう男だ。お前の言うところのクズとは程遠い男だ。
彼はある財閥の収賄スキャンダルを告発しようとしていた。彼をクズというなら、君の犯罪の正当性は
yeah, that's the thing. He wanted to reveal it, but Jochen didn't want him to reveal it. So that's why he wanted him dead.
依頼なんかされてないさ。彼と俺の間に
Did he also leave a message in the sand?
とあの銀行員は彼にとってはクズだったんだ。俺はそう信じる。
なぜ？
彼は正しいからさ。
その彼とは例の双子の子供か？
その彼とはいつどこで会った？
グリース
Yeah, the same park.
その町のある公園。
It's like the place every serial murderer goes to. A very bad reputation for the park from this anime.
彼は何も言わなかった。だが俺には分かった。この名前の男を殺せってことだが、言葉なんかいらないんだ。分かるんだよ、俺たちは。こんなやついらないってことがな。
どういうこと？
Yeah.
あんたが面会した3人は同じ依頼者によって殺人を犯した。
That's exactly it.
3件の連続殺人に組み込ませることで、3件の殺人が意味をなさないようにした。
3件の殺人の意味？
So these three murders are connected between each other?
どういうことなの？詳しく聞かせてくれ。
天馬、ニナ、フランクフルトへ向かった。ヨハン。フランクフルトで、奴は何かを始めようとしている。
Well, for some reason, these three people, well, one of them we kind of get the reasoning, the other old guy probably also, but why this young woman somehow was also connected or realized to belong something or was related to someone, I'm not sure. There was a reason for them all. I think they're a bit of a changing to the ending today. We saw this book already, but I think the lyrics are the same of the song. Please believe in the kindness of your eyes. I think it was here before. The picture is so pretty. I really like the style of the book and the colors of yellow and purple. So that's the character representing Jochen here. With the dark hair in the book though. And the monster. Yeah. That's very cute. That's when he, in the end of the book where he met the other monster, I think that's the moment that represented here. I wanted to talk about that taxi driver. I forgot his name. I didn't have time to write it down, but let's just call him a taxi driver for now to save time. So I just wanted to talk about how I kind of understand his approach in a way that his way of thinking, first of all, he thought that he kind of has the right to decide who is needed, who is crucial to the world, and who is just trash in his eyes. So he didn't have this empathy in him in seeing other people like actual people with different sides, so to say. Yes, he just saw only one side of a person based on a very short encounter, and only based on that he thought that he can decide like if this is a good person or a bad person, and even decide their destiny in a sense, right? Their life or death. So that tells us two things: that he's very self-righteous, I think, yes, the word. So he thinks he has this godlike right to decide who gets to live and who doesn't. So he's very full of himself. He thinks he is always right. And there are people who think like that are not serial murderers. They're just people who think that they are always right. Right? So that's an understandable trait. We encounter this in real life with regular people also. But the second thing, he also was influenced by Johann, who kind of green-lighted his approach. If you see someone who you deem to be bad, you can just get rid of them. They are not needed in the world. If you think they are not good enough, if they are trash, again. And the problem here is that he was very surface level about this. As I said, yes, some men like spit on him. That man who kicked the poor dog, obviously he's a bad person. You can see on his actions towards this dog. But does this mean that he deserves to die? That's, of course, not. That's the thing. He takes some bad actions that a person does and decides, yeah, that's bad enough to kill them. But maybe this person has some good, most likely they have some good qualities, or maybe they are important to another person, or maybe, yeah, they could be useful to the society in any way. All of these shades he doesn't take into account. I think that's very interesting because I've read and translated a very interesting book. It was called The Day I Was Erased, I think, by Lisa Thompson. I'll just check for a second. Yeah, I said it all correctly. So I really liked the book, The Day I Was Erased, and among other ideas that were presented in the book, I think the one that was the most interesting, that it was about a young boy. And he was not a very good person. He was mean to his friend. He had some problems in school. He was kind of a problematic kid that committed pranks. Committed is a very strong word for pranks. Yeah, he kind of spoiled the big day in school where some comedians came and everyone was kind of having fun. He turned off the electricity, kind of spoiled the day for everyone. There were some reasons why he was like that. He had some problems at home. His parents were yelling at each other. And in school too, maybe he didn't feel like he was always heard. There was one teacher that was actually understanding, but he was it's kind of, the teacher said that he can't attend that big night, so that's why he was mad. But he just tried to sneak in there. And well, it's all irrelevant. The thing I want to say is that in the eyes of society, in the eyes of other people, he could be seen like a bad person. But the thing is, he himself starts to think that, damn, I'm really doing nothing good, I'm just spoiling everything for everyone. Maybe my parents wouldn't argue with each other if I didn't exist. And so he made a wish that he didn't exist. And that transported him to kind of parallel parallel universe, where he just wasn't ever born. He didn't exist like from the very start. And the interesting thing is how he actually realized how much of an impact he had on the world, on his family, even on one of his teachers. He didn't think about that before, but this world showed him that, yeah, even though he wasn't the perfect person and he kind of felt that he was spoiling everything for everyone, there were some parts that, yeah, could be better without him, but there were also some parts that he impacted in a positive way. Maybe he didn't even realize it at the moment. And all this experience, well, first of all, it kind of taught him to be a better person himself, but also it showed him that his life mattered, that he did have an impact on the world around him. And I think that's very important, and that's what this taxi driver doesn't take into consideration. Two things: that a person can change and grow and become a better person, and second, that even when they are not their best self, even when others can see them as a bad person, it doesn't mean that they can't have some positive impact somewhere. So I think these two moments is what he overlooked, because he was so full of himself in his own head, thinking he knows better than everyone. The problem is, we kind of have these people in real life who think they know better than anyone. They do not commit murders, they just make others' life harder because they think that they know better than anyone else, so they're going to only do everything their way, and in this kind of impacting the life of others in a bad way, kind of infringing on their rights. I think that's a very different, it's a very interesting topic, could be a very interesting conversation. That's what I really wanted to talk about when I kind of saw the conversations with this taxi driver. But regarding the plot, what can I say? So yeah, Johan kind of has this deep connection to these serial murderers. I'm not sure about the other two. Looks like they didn't have actual connection to Johan like the taxi driver. They had some psychological problems, which kind of were partly maybe the reason for the murders they committed, because in their minds they felt, again, like what they are doing is kind of right, that's what they should do, but that was only because there was something wrong. Maybe if they got therapy, maybe it could get better. But in any case, Johan kind of used that against them as an alien, as a vampire, for influence them to kill these people that he wanted, that were kind of a problem to him, an obstacle to him. And in the case with taxi driver, he actually had some kind of connection to him, so he only had to ask him for a favor. But again, he didn't come and ask for it, he just came to this park where all serial killers kind of mingle, I guess, because they all go to this freaking park. Now if I ever visit Germany, maybe I wouldn't want to go into this park after this bad advertisement. It's interesting, I completely forgot this poor Weisbach, that he was already present in the first episodes, and I kind of forgot about it. That's an interesting callback. If I have the first episodes, maybe I could look for him. But yeah, there was an inspector who was questioning Anna, and nurses and doctors were like, don't pressure these kids too much. So I think for him it would be kind of, damn, that case that I was investigating so long ago, I now have a new lead. And of course he would feel kind of incomplete, like he didn't finish some important task if he just retires from it. So now I'm a bit worried for him, because if he delves deeper into this dangerous place, so to say, he might not live to his retirement. That's another interesting thing. I'm sorry for talking so much, but this just the episode that I think holds many interesting themes. Like, for example, him saying in that train that, yeah, I like know how my life will go forward, I will retire soon, and I know for sure like what is going to happen. I'm going to, what he said, like tend to my garden, live with my wife calmly. But life can turn in an unexpected way. You can't really say what is waiting for you. Like, the closest thing you can plan is like next few hours, maybe this evening, but even this is not set in stone. Everything can change at any time. And again, there are books that play with this idea, like Master Margarita. In English it would be, I guess, Master and Margarita, something like that, by the Russian author Bulgakov. That I think is the most prime example about a man. It just reminded me so much. There was a man, he was talking even about an event that was going to happen soon. Well, retirement is also an event that's going to happen soon here. Yeah, there was a man, he was kind of in a literature world. He was going to attend some kind of event, and he was talking to his, I don't remember very much, like, could we call him a disciple? I'm not sure if that's a good word. Well, another guy who was a younger guy who was also in this literature world. And so the older guy told him, yeah, I know for sure what's going to happen. I'm going to attend this event and all of that. So they were kind of talking about that. What do you think? Like, can you really know what will happen to you in the future, right? In the near future. And then some other man came up to them, who kind of turns out to be Roland, kind of a devil in a way. And Roland said, you can't actually be sure that you are going to attend this event. And the literature guy was like, what do you mean? I kind of already had it in my schedule. And Roland said, you can't do this because Annushka has already spilled the oil. Annushka is a name. It's kind of an endearment form of my name, Anna or Anya. So this Annushka was a completely random woman who had no connection to any of them. She was just in this, I think, kind of underground metro station, something like that. And she was carrying oil, and she kind of fell or something. She spilled it. And she had no connection again to them. It was just a completely random event, a complete coincidence. And Roland, being a devil, kind of omnipotent in a way, he already knew about that. He knew what was going to happen. But a regular person has no way of knowing when an accident can happen. So that literature guy, he went to this, to travel through this metro station. And I'm not even sure, I think it was a metro station, like I read it a long time ago, but the general idea is what's more important, okay? So he went there and he slipped on that oil. He fell under the, like on the rails, and I think even kind of his head was severed and kind of fell on the platform. I'm not also sure about this part, but I think that's what happened. That's how I remember it, okay? So the important thing is that he died. And the idea here is not, well, it's also that you can die at any time, at any moment. So that's a whole separate theme that we can discuss. But the one I wanted to talk about is that it's not necessarily death that is going to prevent you from doing something that you thought you will for sure do. It can be something else too. The idea here is that you can't know for sure. And in the media, in the anime, oftentimes when you see how a character kind of talks about their dreams or what they are going to do or how they see the future, it often gets kind of undermined, can I say that, by the next events. And again, it's like they want to show us that we can't plan, anything can happen. And yeah, in media it usually means something pretty drastic, like the character is going to die, or maybe something else. Maybe in this case it's kind of him getting a lead and thinking about this case, so he can't retire, and that's how the rails kind of go in a different direction from his plans. Maybe that would be the extent of that, but now I'm a bit worried about him because of this. Okay, I think I'll stop talking for now, because I wanted to watch more episodes today while I have time, and I just keep talking about this one. So I guess that would be it for today. Thank you so much if you listened through all of my kind of thoughts and discussions on this episode. If you have your own opinion on this, I would be very happy to read about it in the comments down below. So share your thoughts without spoilers, of course. That would be it for today. Thank you for watching, and see ya!